Structure of novels. The structure of a novel is the way a story is organized, and it's an important part of how the writer tells the story. It affects how we understand the plot, how we connect with the characters, and how we feel as readers. One key part of structure is how the plot is arranged, and there are two main types of plot structures: linear and nonlinear. A linear plot is when the story unfolds in order from beginning to end. This means the events happen in a straight line, starting with the introduction, moving through the middle, and ending with the conclusion. Think of it like a timeline. First this happens, then that happens, and finally the story ends. This type of plot structure is easy to follow and helps the reader understand the cause and effect of each event. For example, in a linear story, if a character makes a mistake early on, we can clearly see how that mistake affects things later. In a nonlinear plot, the story doesn't follow a straight timeline. The writer might jump around between the past, present, and future. You might see flashbacks, where the story goes back in time to explain something that happened earlier, or flash forwards, where the story jumps ahead to show the future. This type of plot can be more complex, but it adds layers to the story and helps create suspense or mystery. Nonlinear plots are often used to show how different moments are connected, or to make the reader think about how the past influences the present. Another important part of a novel's structure is the turning points. These are moments when the plot takes a major shift and the direction of the story changes. For example, a character might learn a shocking truth, make a big decision, or face a challenge that changes everything. Turning points keep the story exciting and unpredictable, and they push the plot forward. Without these moments, the story might feel flat or boring. Pay attention to these turning points because they often mark the start of a new part of the character's journey. Cliffhangers are another technique writers use to keep readers hooked. A cliffhanger is when a writer ends a chapter, or sometimes even the whole book, at a moment of suspense. It leaves the reader wondering what will happen next. For example, a character might be in danger or about to make a big discovery, and then the chapter ends without revealing the outcome. Cliffhangers create tension and make the reader eager to keep going to find out what happens. Writers use this technique to build excitement and keep the story moving. The structure of a novel is much more than just a way to organize the story. It's a tool the writer uses to control the pace, build tension, and shape how the reader experiences the story. A well-planned structure can keep readers engaged and invested in the plot. For example, starting a story with a dramatic event and then going back to show how things got to that point, a non-linear structure, can create intrigue right away. Similarly, a story that slowly builds to a dramatic turning point can keep readers on the edge of their seats. In the end, structure is crucial because it shapes how we experience the story, how we understand the characters, and how we react to the events in the plot. Writers use different types of structures to create tension, suspense, and emotion. And paying attention to these elements can help you understand the novel in a deeper way. When reading, think about why the writer chose to structure the story in a certain way and how it affects your experience as a reader.